just like any coaching session, we are going to start with clarifying our goals and intentions for the session, and also for what we want to achieve in general in terms of, let's say, self-compassion, in terms of how we want to be kind to ourselves when it gets difficult. So the main theme for this part is going to be, what are your best hopes for our time together today? So what is the best thing that could come out of this session for you is the guiding question. And my very first and most important recommendation at this point is to not choose too many goals. I would say 2 or 3 is more than enough. You know, even if you just have one, it's definitely enough, because like I said, we're going to work only for 5 minutes on each one. The idea is just to get started on this. You can always use the recording if you want to go back to that, or if you want to go deeper into something, or use the slides also, just to get started on something, because my experience is when you have done it once, then it's much easier to do it again. And too many goals can actually be pretty confusing, and that makes it then harder to proceed. So if you have a long list, just write on your list and choose one, maybe at random, closing your eyes, or in any other way you want. I always write some supporting prompts on the slide that you can use or not use as you wish. It's just an idea. It's something that has helped me or has helped others that I have worked with to do this. So the first one is, how would I like to feel by the end of this session? How would I want to get out of this session, with which feeling? What would I like to walk away with? Maybe a more tangible result. And the last one I like, especially, if I had a genie in a bottle, if I could make a wish, if I could just, you know, have whatever I want, then just let your creativity flow. This is also something that I love to say, is give yourself really permission to dream big here. You can reach for the stars. This is not about, you know, being extremely realistic or confining ourselves. It's really about trying to feel what we want and to get in touch with our desires and how we would like to treat ourselves, or how we would like to be, who we would like to be, maybe in these times. So it's completely okay to have big dreams and write them down here. Then I put 5 tips to make your goals really work for you, just to make them, let's say, attainable. The first one is, I can achieve my goal on my own. That is not to say all by myself. I actually was struggling a little bit to translate this. In German, it's easier for me. So what it means is that you have the actual power to reach this. So, for example, if your goal was to end all problems on the planet so that you don't need self-compassion anymore, I'm being a little bit, I'm exaggerating here, and then of course this is not in your hands, right? So the trick is, and this is much more difficult sometimes than it would seem at first sight, is to really drill down to, what can I do? What is my contribution? I like to use, in a different scenario, I like to use the example of, I want to win the lottery is not in your hands, because you don't take the numbers out, but you can say, I want to win the lottery, so I'm going to play once a month or something like that. No? So this is the part that you can actually influence. Whether or not this is a suitable goal is a different question, but this is how to drill it down a little bit. The next one is, my goal is stated in present tense as if it were already a reality. So you are trying to say, not I will, you know, one fine day, I will, I don't know, take good care of myself by doing X, Y, Z. But you say, I am taking care of myself by doing X, Y, Z. This just makes it much stronger and much more easily relatable, in my experience. Then a similar one, my goal is stated as a description, not as a wish or a desire. So this is similar to the one before. And it means that you don't say, I want to, or I wish I had, or I wish I could. But you really describe what it will be like when you have achieved it. And then another one that I love, my goal states what I want as opposed to what I don't want. Because most people, including me, are very good at making long lists of what we don't want. But it's sometimes much, much harder to get to what it is that we actually do want. And it takes some searching and some digging sometimes, or maybe just some holding space in order to let it come out. The last one is I can test, check, or prove if or that I have reached my goal. This doesn't mean you have to have a scientific setup or like I don't know, like some sort of external auditor come and audit you. It's more about being specific. So, for example, if you say, I know that I will feel better if I work out frequently, or if I take frequent walks, let's say, then the idea is to say, okay, what does frequent mean? Is it once a week? Is it once a day? Is it once, just a walk around the block, or is it like a longer walk, or what exactly is it? So that you have an idea how to check if you are really doing that. So, and how we're going to do this in the 5 minutes that I will give you is you take a pen and a piece of paper, and you write down your goals. And as I said, if you have a lot of ideas, just write a long list and then just pick one or two. It's more than enough. Then you try to write it out in a sentence. And when you are done, I really recommend you to read it out loud for yourself, because you're on mute, nobody's going to hear you. And it really helps. It helps me always, and most people that I speak to also, you get a better idea for how it feels, this goal. And then when you feel like, okay, I'm okay with this, then you can maybe go back to the checklist in the blue box, just to see, does it more or less fit into this logic? Maybe it doesn't have to 100%, but so that you have maybe a little bit of a check if there's anything that you could adapt. And if there are any questions, just message me in the chat box, and I will do my very best to help you with that. Okay, then I will start a timer for 5 minutes, and I will tell you 30 seconds before it's over, or maybe 20 seconds. I will whisper so that you know that the time is approaching. Okay, then see you in